In the headlines, bandits invade Dansadau General Hospital, kidnap health workers. Police repel another attack in Imo, kill 2 suspected Eastern Security Network members. 30 killed and over 2,000 hospitalized in Jigawa State. And on the foreign scene, Malaysians stage anti-government protests despite COVID-19 curbs. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I'm Nafisa Abdul Al. For more news stories, follow us across all our social media platforms. Now the news in detail. Suspected armed bandits invaded General Hospital Dansadau in Maru local government area of Zamfara state, abducted a nurse and a caregiver, as Daily Trust reports. Residents told our correspondent that the armed men stormed the medical facility around 1 a.m. and went straight to outpatient department asking for a doctor or nurse. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association in Zamfara State, Dr. Manir Bature, said they would hold an emergency state officers council meeting at NMA Secretariat to deliberate on the issue. The Nigerian Army says the troops of Operation Haɗin Kai have taken custody of 91 Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists and their families who surrendered recently in Northeast. The director, Army Public Relations Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, said this in a statement in Abuja. Nwachukwu said the troops of 202 Battalion took custody of 8 insurgents and their families, comprising 10 adult females and 22 children who surrendered at Ruwaza village in Bama local government area of Borno. He said the troops of Forward Operational Base operating along Bokob's Bama Road also arrested 20 terrorists and their families who surrendered to troops at Mbewa village, also in Bama local government area. According to him, the surrendered families of the insurgents comprised 15 adult females and 26 children. Meanwhile, the Imo Police Command says its operatives have killed 2 suspected ESN members during crossfire in Njaba local government area on Saturday. The Commissioner of Police, Abu Tuyaro, confirmed this in a statement signed by the command spokesman, CSP Mike Abatam, a copy of which was made available to newsmen in Owerri. He said 1 AK-47 rifle and an operational vehicle were recovered during the gun duel. The PDP in Ondo State has charged Governor Rotimi Akeredolu to stop grandstanding over his Supreme Court victory. Its Publicity Secretary Kennedy Perete said in a statement issued on Saturday in Akure that the governor should instead work towards the welfare of people of Ondo State. The PDP in a Saturday statement said its candidates cannot be part of Akeredolu's government that has thrown many students of tertiary institutions out of school because parents could not pay astronomical fees. Former Governor of Jigawa State Sule Lamido says the scores of security challenges facing Nigeria remain unresolved as a result of the incompetence of the All Progressive Congress administration. Sule Lamido speaks in an interview with Trust TV's Aisha Salihu in Abuja.
The former governor is a political leader of the opposition People's Democratic Party in his native Jigawa State, which the All Progressive Congress has taken over in 2015. And since then, he remained critical of the ruling APC. Sule Lamido said Nigeria is facing several problems since those in position of authority lack the commitment of putting the country first before their personal interests.
If you want to restore Nigeria to a level of whereby, that thing called brotherhood and sisterhood will be restored, where there'll be trust between various divides, between the North and the South, between Yoruba and the Hausa and Fulani and other tribes. Trust, between Christians and Muslims. When you're able to restore that thing called trust, believing in each other as human beings first, believing and trusting each other as Nigerian citizens first, with a common destiny, with a common interest. And then begin to look at Nigeria, what do we do to restore what is called service in governance? Serving the people, which means, a party with the culture of what I may call commitment to the cause of transparency, commitment to the cause of national unity, commitment to the cause of a vision for a bigger Nigeria where Nigeria will be secure and safe and prosperous. Therefore, the way forward is to put a leader with the commitment, with the vision, who is humane, who is caring, who is loving, with empathy, who will see his own reflection in his fellow human beings.
The politician predicted the ruling APC will disintegrate before the 2023 elections.
APC will collapse because the main binding thing APC was the hate for APC, for PDP. All right? Now, having been in government, they failed to fulfill their promises, and therefore they're being exposed for they are liars. And then Buhari, who is the main catalyst of APC, is not anymore. Tinubu, who is supposed to be the Jagaba, the leader of APC, they don't like him. Because if he gets there, he'll bury Buhari's history. So literally, the party will literally evaporate. It will all go away. It's going to be PDP in 2023. So it means we either work hard in PDP and get the party properly stabilized, restore the dignity of the party and party culture and tradition, and then get a better government in 2023.
Sule Lamido had sought for the PDP presidential ticket in 2019 general elections, but lost the party's nomination to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And on COVID-19 update, Nigeria has recorded more than 500 COVID-19 cases in daily figures for the third time on Friday as the government struggles to deal with a new and more infectious variant of the virus. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control said figures on Saturday morning showed another 590 cases were reported. According to the NCDC, the number of cases is rising. So is the country's testing capacity since the peak of the first wave last year. The NCDC said that the new daily tally of 558 on Thursday has now been overtaken by Friday's 590 cases, and these have raised the total infections in the country to 173,411. Still on health matters, cholera outbreak has killed at least 30 people, while over 2,000 others are hospitalized in Jigawa State. Authorities said the outbreak was first noticed in February but became worse in late July this year. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that hospital admission is increasing with over 40 patients per day.
Children aged 3 to 5, women and the elderly in Duse General Hospital waiting to be treated. Some on the floor or 2 patients per bed space, at worst, even outside the hospital ward. Lack of access to good drinking water, poor environmental and personal hygiene is largely responsible for the suffering of these people, most of whom are from the rural areas of the state.
We have been having so many cases here in Duse General Hospital. In short, as from the beginning, when this outbreak was out, we had the cases, we are admitting them at accident and emergency ward. That is the first ward there. When entering the ward, you see it's emergency ward. So they have been admitting them there.
Despite efforts to neutralize the situation, the outbreak is said to be spreading, with a daily increase in patients' admission and death.
This thing started at far back as from, can I say February, March, April, May, June. So at the end of June, we saw that the case, they were no more, they were so much, so they now decided to bring them here. This ward is mainly for retainership, where they do admit insurance, that is the head insurance and jitma cases. But when they saw that the outbreak was so much, the hospital now decided to bring the patients here. We turned it to isolation wards, and that was from this July. And from the first week of July up to date, we have about 450-something patients here, 55 patients in short.
While hospital officials want that the situation may continue to escalate if hygienic protocols are not adhered to, residents believe that government has not been doing enough to bring the situation under control.
Da asuba lokacin ya tahi daga bacci ya ce mun gudawa yake yi a bahi ko yayi he na bahi yayi kuma shikenan yake yi malalala he ciwon ciki a hararwa ne muka ce bara mu tafi asibiti kuma yanzu an kara masa ruwa ga na an bashi gihiri da siga da magani na ruwa.
Although authorities have confirmed that the number of people dying in this Duse General Hospital have significantly reduced, however, the number of patients being admitted in this hospital are increasing by the day, owing to the outbreak of this cholera. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Duse.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up after the break, 3 killed as bridge collapses in Bauchi State. Stay with us.
Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the Trust TV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search Trust TV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
My name is Samuel Dada.
Yakubu Isa, ana mana kabi da jeje.
Aminu Musa.
Steven Umaru. A wannan harkar ce muke dan samun abinci, an muke taimaka mu wasu da yawa.
Looking for private jobs. Sometimes you get employed and the process of payment, you undergo some kind of stress.
Welcome back. You're still watching Trust TV News Update. Let's take a look at our top stories. We brought you news that suspected armed bandits invaded Dansadau General Hospital in Maru local government area of Zamfara State, abducted a nurse and a caregiver. Also, the Nigerian army said troops of Operation Hadlankai took custody of 91 Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists and their families who surrendered recently in Northeast. Still in the news, 3 persons have died after a bridge collapsed in Bauchi State due to a heavy downpour on Friday morning, which lasted several hours. The bridge located in Malka village links Ningi local government area to Jigawa and Kano states. Many other passengers on the road were left stranded on both sides. Meanwhile, the heavy downpour also affected a culvert located in Nabardo, 40 kilometers away from Bauchi town. As a result, commuters along the Bauchi-Jos road were forced to seek alternative routes. Head of the Federal Road Maintenance Agency in Bauchi, Engineer Anand Panjoro, told newsmen that arrangements are in place to commence filling of the bridge. The federal government of Nigeria has promised to do all within its power to end trafficking of young vulnerable Nigerians by criminal elements to Europe for sex slavery and other illicit activities. Nigeria's Minister of Interior Rauf Arebeshola gave the government's charge at an event held in the British High Commission to commemorate the 2021 International Day Against Trafficking in Persons. Arebeshola, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Shuaib El-Gore, described trafficking in persons as modern-day slavery, which the government will strive to root out. On the theme, British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Kachiona Leng, said giving voice to victims could help prevent others from suffering what they suffered. Similarly, Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State says his administration had, in the last 4 years, shifted focus to rehumanizing and reintegrating returnees.
It's a compendium of denied opportunity, going up to as far as one may boldly say, even into modern-day slavery. Is a challenge and a scourge that has to be fought and brought to a standstill. The government of Nigeria is determined in these efforts, and all our agencies and partners will continue to work hand in hand to find how to limit this and conquer this scourge.
Many victims and survivors will have experienced a lot of ignorance, misunderstanding and disbelief when they're trying to get help from the authorities. And people who feel that they're to blame will not come forward and they won't get the support we need. It's crucial to have proper legal and investigative processes, but these can be extremely traumatic for people recounting their experiences. So we need to design legal processes, again, with empathy for the victim at the heart of it. The other thing we need to think about is how we reintegrate people back into their communities. The UK is very proud of its work here in Nigeria with IOM, with Edo State, with NAPTIP and others. We've got a very strong partnership and I think we've achieved a huge amount.
Our ultimate goal is to strengthen Nigeria and Niger's response to smuggling of migrants, prevention of trafficking in persons, and the management of borders in an integrated, secure, and coordinated manner. As we stand here on the eve of World Day Against Trafficking, nothing better symbolizes IOM's commitment to fighting this horrendous crime than supporting the implementation of Phase 2 of the CATS project. Building on the progress made, Phase 2 looks to strengthen partnership between national authorities in Niger and Nigeria, both across borders and between border communities.
And the state, unfortunately, is a source for victims, and by setting up the task force in the last 4 years, working with partners like the IOM, we've been able to resettle about 6,500 traffic victims back to the state. In the period, we've also tried to rehumanize them and resettle them back to their community.
The Coalition of Societies for the Rights of Older Persons in Nigeria says the Elders Parliament and others have concluded plans to execute projects in the country. Senator Eze Ajoku, president of the coalition, said this in Abuja at a news conference and signing of Memorandum of Understanding with the International Federation on Aging in Nigeria, IFAN. Ajoku lauded President Muhammadu Buhari for making the National Senior Citizen Center and the National Policy on Aging a reality. Ike Willie Nwobu, country president of IFAN Federation Nigeria, commended the coalition for championing the affairs of older persons.
National Elderly Parliament. This is a project designed to maximize, utilize the wisdom, experience, and network of elder statesmen with integrity and pedigree, drawn from various geopolitical zones of Nigeria as an alternative conflict resolution and peace-building mechanism for the nation. Currently, there exists Children and Youth Parliament. The elderly are the peacemakers in communities, so the formalization of the national, state, and local government elderly parliaments will give life and excitement to elders. The other program we're going to carry out together is Retirement Village. Retire the retirement. We are retiring retirement. Let me explain that again. You see, you have retired, but you now retire the retirement by being active. All right? All right, so retirement no longer exists, but is a change of job, residence, and location. Retirement Village is mini elderly, entrepreneurial, cooperative, and industrial clusters, powered by seniors from schools, farming, library support services, and so on.
The neglect of the elderly reduces and minuses national strength and productivity. The neglect of the elderly showcases extreme carelessness, distortion of values and ethics.
Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State has donated 3 buses to the Freelance and Independent Broadcasters Association of Nigeria, Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria Islamic Center, Liberty Okeado, Ibadan, and Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria. Makinde, who promised to be fair to the Muslims, Christians, and traditional worshippers, cautioned those peddling speculations against him about his disposition towards Muslims. In his response, Sheun Awadele, the chairman, Freelance and Independent Broadcasters Association of Nigeria, said that the good gesture extended to the association by the governor came as a surprise.
Well, to the glory of God, it's not the first time of having a gift from the incumbent governor, because I can say it vividly that during the tenure of Governor Oladoja, they give us a gift, but this is a surprise because I don't expect it at this moment point in time. And I'm using this medium to appreciate the executive governor of Oyo State and also to let him know that I and my colleagues and our noble association would deem it fit to pay a visit to all the 33 local government in order to know what is on ground.
In his remark, Aziz Oladejo, the chairman of Ansaruddin Society of Nigeria, who received the bus on behalf of the society, commended Governor Makinde and called for more prayers for his administration.
What we need to do as God has directed is to pray for him to ensure that he's successful. If he's not successful, all of us will be affected.
Mansoura Tumonu, a member of Africa Democratic Congress who witnessed the donation ceremony, told journalists that she was part of the program because her party was a member of the coalition that brought in the Makinde administration.
That I'm a member of the coalition. This is coalition government, inclusiveness, where you have everybody. And why would I work for a party or for a government to get into position and I'm going to stay back? So that is why you see me there, working for the government, the coalition.
To bridge the gap of supplying seedlings to farmers in Nigeria, agricultural experts are now turning to modern technology of mass-producing seeds for in and out seasonal farming. In this special report, Trust TV correspondent Ayuba Ilya looks at how these modernized methods of crop production is providing farmers with alternatives of boosting their yields.
In Abuja, Nigeria, Dayo Fumilayo, a microbiologist, goes round the biocrop and technology nursery, picking weeds from planted yam seedlings to guarantee the quality of the seeds soon to be disbursed to farmers.
I need to get rid of this wheat.
As the country grapples with food shortage, low-quality seedling has also significantly impacted on farm yields for farmers across the country, prompting government to license about 158 seed companies, in addition to existing 156, to supply farmers with quality seeds. Biocrop and technology is one of them.
Our effort here, we have a better production other than what farmers give yearly. They get to stress themselves enormously before they get seedlings and all of that. But we are making it easier for them to have these seedlings by doing these whole processes. Now, right now, I'm going to show you a little display on how to produce or multiply this yam using this semi-solid. We call this semi-solid. This substrate down here, the semi-solid, we have every composition of plant growth that is required by this very yam. The normal yam will grow out there. So everything has been made into this substrate, into this semi-solid.
Report by Amsterdam-based Access to Seeds Foundation revealed that Nigeria has about 130 billion naira in seeds deficit, with the current seed production capacity of about 80,000 metric tons. Stakeholders say Nigeria needs about 400,000 metric tons of seeds per annum to be self-sufficient in food production. Here, they generate over 200,000 different seedlings between 12 to 15 weeks with ready off-takers, but it doesn't come easy.
Like I said, what we do, we are not producing seedling using this. You only multiply these plantlets. We call them plantlets because this is what we need before they will be transferred out to the screen house. All these plants, we call them SAH plants, meaning semi-autotrophic hydroponics. Well, these are the method we use to grow them. Now there's a way, after some time, let's say in 3 months' time, we take them to the screen house where we have a better growth of them after some culturing over time, with time and all of that. So as time goes on, before you know it, we'll have a full number of them here already.
With the impact of climate change and insecurity taking a toll on farmers, especially in northern part of the country, the use of new technology for mass production of seedlings provides better opportunities for farmers. Ayuba Ilya, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And in business news, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, strike notice, which is contained in a circular signed by the association's national president Sanusi Fari, is coming against the backdrop of alleged harassment of its members by the police. IPMAN explained that the notice was to also protest the forceful eviction of a duly elected executive at the Port Harcourt depot by the police to pave way for a group not known to members of the association on Friday. It said the Ferry lead national executive had obtained a court order which legitimized its leadership and wondered why the police would allow any group of persons to truncate a legitimate exco without due process. In a reaction, SP Nnamdi Omoni, Police Public Relations Officer, Rivers State Command, explained that the action of the police followed a directive based on a Supreme Court order. On the foreign scene, hundreds of black-clad Malaysians staged an anti-government protest on Saturday in defiance of a ban on public gatherings under coronavirus curbs, piling pressure on the embattled Prime Minister to resign. The protesters, wearing masks and keeping a distance from one another, waved banners as well as black flags. It is the first sizable demonstration in Malaysia for some time, as many have been reluctant to take to the streets due to virus curbs and for fear of getting infected. But anger is growing at the government's handling of the virus outbreak, which is escalating despite the lockdown. Police told local media that the protesters will be called in for questioning as they had violated the ban on gatherings. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhao Lijian says China firmly rejects origin tracing as based on politics and has taken an active part in science-based studies of origins. Lijian says since the outbreak of COVID-19, China has attached great importance to studies into origins of virus. He said China has participated in global cooperation with an open and science-based attitude. And in sports, Nigeria's senior men's basketball team, the Tigers, crashed out of the 2020 Olympic basketball event after losing 80-71 in Italy. The defeat makes it 3 losses the team suffered in the games after losing to Australia and France. The Tigers, who were ranked 4th in the world prior to the games, had raised the hope of Nigerians after defeating basketball powerhouses USA and Argentina in Olympic warm-up matches. Still in sports, International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach hails China's success at the Tokyo Olympic Games. After winning 18 gold medals, he said the success of Chinese athletes speaks for itself. He commended the Chinese Olympic Committee for preparing their athletes.
Of the Chinese athletes speaks for itself. You are now at 18 gold medals. At least this was my last check about 15 minutes ago. I don't know whether in the meantime there is more. I think this is a great success and a spread over many sports where China by tradition was not so strong. So there the Chinese Olympic Committee obviously has done an excellent job to prepare the athletes very well.
We have come to the end of the news update tonight. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms at Chess TV News. I'm Nafisa Abdul Al. Thanks for watching.